Well, in this video, let's discuss how we can install Docker in Ubuntu 2004 desktop machine. So let's get started. I'm going to refer to the official Docker documentation for these installation instructions. So let's jump right in. This is the Docker installation page where the installation instructions are given. And I do have a virtual machine which doesn't have Docker installed. We can quickly check by typing Docker. As you can see, currently Docker is not installed in this machine. So let's use these steps to install Docker. So in our case, we are using Ubuntu, specifically Ubuntu 2004 in our setup, but these steps should work for any of these Ubuntu versions. So let's get started. If we have an older version of Docker already installed, we can remove that using this command. But in our case, Docker is not installed, so let's skip this step. Alright, so we can get started from here. Let's first update the apt package index. That's done. Now let's run this command to install some packages that allow apt to use a repository over HTTPS. So I'm just copying that and I'm gonna paste it here. Most of these are already installed in my case. So let's go to the next step. And the next command is to add Docker's official GPG key. So let's copy this. And let's paste it here, and that's done. And the next step shows a bunch of processor types: AMD 64, Intel 64, ARM HF, and ARM 64. In our case, we are using AMD 64, so let's copy this. And let's paste it here, and that's done. Now finally, we will have to install the Docker engine. So let's once again do a quick apt update. And let's install Docker using this command. As we can see, we are installing Docker Community Edition and Docker CE CLI and containerd.io. Alright, this command should have installed the latest version of Docker in our system. Now we can skip the next couple of steps because they are for installing a specific version of Docker. We don't need that because we have already installed the latest available version. So we can skip step 2 here. And finally, we can verify that Docker engine is installed correctly by just simply running this command, sudo docker run hello world. So let's clear the screen and let's paste it. And looks like the Docker command is working because it is pulling an image from Docker Hub. Looks like we managed to run the container. It says hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. Alright, that completes our Docker installation. There is one last step that I would like to show here. If you notice, we are running these Docker commands with sudo. If we do not want to use sudo when running Docker commands, we can add the current user to Docker group. That will allow us to run Docker commands without using sudo. So let's see how we can do that. Let's scroll down a bit. Here it is. We can just copy this. Let's paste it here. And let's replace the string your user with your actual username. In my case, the username of the current user is Docker. So hit enter. There it is. The current user is now part of the Docker group. Now just log out and log into this machine or do a quick reboot. And we should be able to run Docker commands without using sudo. So I'm going to reboot my machine now, and I will try to execute Docker commands after the reboot. Alright, my system is now restarted. Let's type docker run hello-world, and let's hit enter. There it is. As you can see, we are able to run this container without using sudo. That completes our Docker installation. Thank you for watching the video.